They say you're in good hands and they act like a good neighbor. But do their grades reflect these promises? With all of the A and B level insurance companies on this list, why would anybody choose to trust one of the companies from the C's, D's, and F's? Thanks so much for joining us today. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Good, good. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to all of you folks out there. Appreciate you tuning in. Truly do.
Absolutely. Today we're going to talk about the 2025 Insurer Report Card brought to you by our good friend John and his team over at the Crash Network.
Thanks, John.
Absolutely.
It's yeoman's work as always.
Rob, every year for the last several years, we have taken a look at this report card and reported to you, our consumers, who might not be aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
But we asked the question at the very beginning, why would anybody choose to do business or trust their assets to a company that's rated C or below?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. And so while we're going to share the results from this insurance report card,
Yep.
I might have a little of my own thoughts because
Are you going to opine?
I might opine because I might have. As a matter of fact, I did give them different ratings than what we see here. But we want to talk about the premise real quick.
Yeah.
And I want to just read some of the stuff. Most drivers choose an insurer largely based on the names they regularly see and hear, based on the 6.9 billion auto insurers spend on advertising in 2023 alone.
Almost $7 billion they spent on advertising, so you'll remember their jingles.
Yeah. At least 4 insurance companies each spent more on advertising that year than Coca-Cola or the 2 largest beer companies did.
I think the polar bear is going to be upset.
What you need to know is, all in all, there are more than 200 companies selling auto insurance policies in the United States. The 10 largest insurance companies doing the most of the advertising collect more than 76% of all the premiums.
It's the 80-20 rule.
Yep. So this report card is based on body shops across the country.
When you say based upon, they're the ones being
ranking.
asked
Yeah,
the
they're ranking. So commonly, and when I say commonly, it's every week at least, if not every other day, I'm asked by consumers, what insurance do I recommend?
Yeah.
And so this is doing the same thing, only you're getting almost 1,200 respondents giving these grades across all of the United States.
Understood.
And across, we have 97 insurers that have been graded in this report.
Right. And because we know that there are over 200 insurers out there, the other 100 and change that didn't make this list simply were not part of the survey. They just didn't decide to jump in and allow themselves to be ranked.
Right, right. And it talks about through the ranking changes somewhat year to year, the results have consistently shown that many of the insurers getting the highest grades are smaller or regional insurers that are not spending billions of dollars a year in advertising. And I find that to be absolutely true.
You know, it's kind of like what we talk about in many of our videos, Rob, where we say, if your insurance company says, go to this shop or that shop on our preferred list, we say, those are the ones you start with, not going to.
Yep.
Right?
Check those off the list.
And the same thing applies here, right? If you see an insurer on TV and you can remember that you could save 15% or more in 15 minutes or less, maybe that's where we start with
But how is your claim going to get handled?
Yeah.
So the question that all the respondents are answering, so all the shops that took the time to share their views on how the insurance companies should be graded,
Right.
were asked the same question. How well does the company's claims handling policies, attitude, and payment practices ensure quality repairs and consumer service for motorists? So it's the same question.
Yep.
How does X company rate to that comment?
Across these several criteria.
Yes.
Yep.
So do you want to just jump to the top 10?
Yeah, I think we should. And
Now-
when you say top 10,
Yeah, let's clarify what top 10 is.
these are the 10 most recognizable names, not the top 10.
Not the top 10 rated. These are the top 10 that have the premiums.
Yes.
You know, the highest ones.
The highest number of people who subscribe to their services.
Right.
Yeah.
And the one thing to remember when we're talking about this is the shops that answered this question, some of the shops may have direct partnerships with these insurers, and some of the respondents may not have partnerships with these particular insurers.
All right.
And as an example, they call out one shop that had a partnership with USAA, and because they had the partnership, they gave it a B. But everybody that didn't have gave them a D+.
Okay, so the results, take them with a grain of salt. And if you need a mountain of salt, I understand that Utah has a lake available.
Or something. So there's much to understand here. But the top 10
most recognizable names.
Most recognizable names and with the highest premiums, this is in order of their rank.
All right.
So of the top 10, the highest ranking is American Family with a C+. None of these got better than a C+. And that's the only C+.
Okay.
Travelers gets a C, Nationwide gets a C, Progressive gets a C, Farmers gets a C-, Geico gets a C-, State Farm gets a C-, USAA gets a D+, Liberty Mutual Safeco gets a D+, and Allstate gets a D. Those are your top ones.
Wow.
That have the most premiums.
Yes.
That the people are using. When you ask a shop, is it a good company? Here's the answer.
That's what they're saying. And keep in mind that some of them are, the results are a little bit skewed because of their partnership agreements.
Exactly.
And I think it's safe to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but the great majority of shops have partnerships with one or more insurance companies.
Yes, that's true.
So those grades are perhaps elevated. Remember when Mrs. Bardwell used to grade on a curve in second grade? Yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Yeah, you know, if you go to a shop that's a preferred shop, they may love this insurer, and that doesn't mean it's good for you, the consumer.
Yeah, they just don't want to bite the hand that feeds them.
That's it. So I want to talk about the last, the worst, the bottom of the list.
All right.
The top 10 bottom. Again, there's 97 insurers included in this ranking. Only one F, and that was for Loya.
Ooh.
Next up, 96 is Trexis. Now, Trexis, I believe Trexis insures a lot of like ride share or the people that rent their vehicles.
I see.
To other people.
And usually they're located only in the South, starting at Texas and moving their way towards the American Southeast.
Right. So that's not an insurer that you would normally use.
Right.
They got a D-, and they've earned that.
Yeah.
At least. 95, D- for the General. That's the little guy on the commercial with...
Yeah. And you know why you recognize them? Because they make commercials.
Yeah, because they make commercials. Then we have the Direct General, which is doesn't serve a whole lot of territories.
No, it's more southeast again.
They got a D.
Yeah.
Here's their first big one, Allstate. D.
And they came in 93rd out of 97.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, bottom of the
This is
barrel.
from shops all across the country, including shops that may be on their partner list.
Yep.
This doesn't tell us that ratio. Gainsco got a D plus. I don't know anything about them. National General.
Ooh, this is a big one.
I think there'll be some up and coming episodes that may include this company for some of the odd behavior.
You heard it here first.
D plus. By the way, National General falls underneath the Allstate umbrella.
Falls above them in their grade, but
Yeah.
just barely.
Just barely. Then we have Direct Auto, which is Safe Auto, D plus. 89. This is another big one with a D plus. Liberty Mutual Safeco. I can't begin to tell you how many claims I see come through here with Liberty Mutual Safeco, and it is a horror story for the consumer.
Beware of Liberty Bibberty.
Yep. Then we have Cure at 88 with a D plus. Vermont Mutual rounding out the lowest 10 with a D plus. But interesting for you Tesla owners out there, the next one, 87, ranked 87 out of 97, 86 out of 97, is Tesla Insurance.
Ooh.
So if you're driving a Tesla and you have Tesla insurance, depends on where you take your vehicle. All in all, they did not get a very good ranking.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have to have Tesla insurance if you own a Tesla?
No.
Oh.
No.
All
So
right.
let's switch to the very top.
It's about time.
Let's switch to the ones you can count on,
The winners.
according to the shops. And there's no surprise here. North Carolina Farm Bureau has been number one for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And everybody that talks about them very complimentary.
Yep.
Problem is that it's only sold in North Carolina.
Right.
So that's a problem. They got an A+. Number 2 has always been up there in these rankings, Chubb Insurance. I highly recommend them, but they are a little... They go after affluent...
Yeah. They're
people.
exclusive.
Yeah. And they got an A. Acuity is another one. It got an A-. It's number 3. Always check them out.
Okay.
They're a great company to work with. Michigan Farm Bureau, you can imagine they're only in Michigan with an A-. Alpha Mutual, I've not heard of. They're Alabama, Georgia. They're an A-. Erie Insurance is in more states. They have an A-. Pure Insurance, which I happen to like as well. They are right up there in my book with Acuity.
Yeah.
B+.
Okay. And they have a nationwide coverage, most of the nation.
Yeah, they have a very large availability. So Pure Insurance is one I would talk to. Grinnell Mutual, I've not had any experience with. They got a B+. Number 9, AIG Private Client, also with a B+. I give them an A+.
They're in all 50 states, by the way.
I couldn't give them a higher rating.
Yeah.
Great company to call. And then Mutual of Enumclaw, they got a B+. That's your top 10.
All right.
And I'm just going to scooch through some of the ones I recognize from the next 10. Farm Bureau, B+. Amica, number 13, with a B+.
They've fallen.
They yeah, and some of the claims handling hasn't been that what we're used to.
I think
let's
that's-
just say that.
I think this grade is a reflection of that.
Yeah.
We're seeing that over the last several years because they used to be on the top 10.
Yeah. Auto Owners, pretty good company. I wouldn't mind having you check them out. Frankenmuth, I have no idea. Triple A they're a pretty decent insurer.
This particular AAA is AAA Texas.
Yeah, 16th is AAA Texas. Don't know that one, don't know that one, don't know that one, don't know that one. Cincinnati Insurance has got a B. They have a pretty wide coverage area. For those with a Toyota, Toyota Motor Company has insurance. They're ranked 26 with a B. So that's one to look at. Pemco Insurance, that's Oregon and Washington. I've heard lots of great things about them. They're 29 with a B. Shelter Insurance is number 34 with a B minus. CSAA, which is the more national AAA, they are at 38 with a B minus.
Okay.
Still much better than your top 10 most premium dollar companies.
Yeah, up to this point, the ones that you've just highlighted are in the top third, and the top 10 most common names end up in the bottom third.
Yeah. And I just want to mention a few different names. We already talked about American Family with C+, Ameriprise with a C+, Travelers, number 72 with a C, 73 is Nationwide with a C, Progressive is 75 with a C, Geico is 80 with a C minus. State Farm is 81 with a C minus, which is a gracious grade for them to have. Let's just say that. And USAA 85 with a D plus.
These are the people who are supposed to be taking care of our military and their families.
They promise.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, we asked the question, with all of the great companies that find themselves with ratings of A's and B's, why would anybody trust their assets, their livelihoods, their homes, their cars? Why would anybody trust somebody with a ranking of C, D, or even F?
So a couple things I consistently say are, if you've been in a loss and the insurance company gives you a list of shops to go to that are their preferred or contract shops, or however they want to phrase it, they have lots of very friendly terms to make you feel like they're going to take care of you. Those are the ones I would strike off the list myself.
Right away.
If you're seeing the commercials on TV, I would strike them off the list. Mm-hmm. We see them come through day in and day out, and they do not hold up to their promises or jingles in any way, shape, or form.
The greatest pushback that I anticipate from those who are watching here now, Rob, would be, well, first of all, I don't know where to find these other insurers, and that's why this report was made. And I will put a link to the Crash Network where you can get your own copy of this report and read through all the details of what people are actually saying about these companies.
Yep.
This video doesn't have the bandwidth to do all of that for you. But you can also just do a Google search on insurance, property and casualty insurance in my area, and see what you can find.
The one caution I would have on that is there's a lot of rating companies out there that may have financial arrangement or some other arrangement. The video that we did last week, that whole horrible situation that guest had to go through is a J.D. Powers Award winner. So, again, they didn't win any stars in my book.
Yeah, it's easy to get confused by the pay to play.
Yeah, and they did nothing but string the thing out and create a whole lot of stress.
Yeah.
And, you got to be careful of all these different ratings that different people give the insurers and what's behind why they're giving them.
Right. And the other thing is, Rob, that people are obviously and understandably concerned about the price of their premiums,
Of course.
right?
We all are.
But when you need your insurer to step up and deliver on the promises that they make, those are the ones that we showed you at the beginning, the top 10 recognizable names that find themselves in the bottom of this rating, they're not going to be there for you.
That's our experience.
Yeah, right.
That's purely my experience.
Maybe it's worth paying a couple extra bucks for a premium with an insurance company you know is not going to be a problem.
Yeah. And just to close this out, I'm just going to give a shout out to AIG. That's my personal insurance.
All right.
For anything personal of mine, they cover it. And they are absolutely amazing to deal with, whether it's me personally or they're coming through the shop to help one of their guests, one of their insureds.
Gotcha.
They basically drop everything to make sure you are taken care of. Is it a little bit more expensive? Probably. Is the coverage triple what you're going to get from any of these 10 top most recognizable? No doubt about it.
All right.
So do your homework, ask questions. You can always check with me, but here is the list.
Yep.
And again, John, thank you so much for putting this together.
Yeah.
It's always good information for to get shared, and that's what I got for this Saturday.
You know, it's great. Go to the Crash Network. Again, the link is in the description box below. And if you do decide to download that report and read about it yourself, drop John a thank you by email. His email is right there in the report, and he would love to hear from you. Tell him you heard about it here at the airing of Grievances. Rob?
Happy Saturday to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly grateful. Hope this was helpful. Look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Have an amazing week. God bless. What is that?
I don't know,
Okay.
but it's doing it again.
What's that?
I don't know.
What's that?
I've never seen that before in my life. And I don't know what to do with it. But you can also just do a Google search on insurance, property and casualty insurance in my area, and see what you can find.